Akun. Kdei. And welcome to today's vlog. It's my last day around the Angkor complex today, and I'm just going to take you around a couple of tours of some of the temples that are in a very close proximity, and I will give you a full itinerary list of where I'm going. But this one is the south gate. East. This is the east gate into Banteay, Kdei, yes, which is a 12th century building, which is Buddhism. Yes. Akun Tran. Cheers, guys. Ah, man, cool. Those guys, they were really cool. They really were. I like it when people give you information no one else does. You all know that they all know who I am by now, and they all know my tuk-tuk driver, and they all are radioing through to let them know that I'm coming, so they can monitor me. And so what I've said, when I've come in today, and they say, oh, your last day, they're all really happy that it's my last day, and I've said, no, I'm going to buy another ticket so I have 5 more days. Yes. That's just me winding them up. And that's what I said to that guy. Our last day. I said, no, I'm going to buy another 5 ticket. And he suggested, oh, change your tuk-tuk driver, because like I said, they're not very good with people, but they all know the tuk-tuk driver, right? So that was really good information that he told me. That it's like there's a mix of people in the mall. There's good people and there's bad. There's almost like a civil war going on here, to a point with regards to how, if the people are embedded into the system, like the nippy guy, tour guide, just a tour guide, took it upon himself. I saw him yesterday, and he told me he was actually surprised. I've actually got a clip of him walking away where I've recorded him, because he actually said, oh, I'll call the police and all this. He didn't need to do it. It's just a tour guide, and he's sent round. So it's basically like there's a civil war, because I've been meeting tour guides and I've been meeting security guards and whatever as they're following me. Some are really on it, and then others are not. Like those guys just there, he said, change your tuk-tuk driver, and there's no security there. He's not part of the clan, if you know what I mean. He's a good guy. They exist everywhere, man, good and bad. So here we are now going in to Banteay, Kdei, which is, I think there's a bit of reconstructing work going on. Got to embed that name in my head. So reconstruction, as soon as you start doing reconstruction, you are actually destroying, because you know everything. You know what I used to do for a living. I used to do a bit of reconstructing, but it's like you say, anything of any value, of any sort, you've got to leave it with its patina on it, mate. You know, don't go and restore it. People do restore stuff, they take it back to the original, but they're just wasting their money and time, because you can, oh man, you ruin the patina, the age. You take it away. But oh man, again, all these tree roots, it's a wicked place. I say, just walking around the place, man, it does put me in the mind of I know I said jokingly, but it does put me in the mind of Gondor. Is it Gondor? Yes, certainly does. It's really got that Gondor look about it, you know. Oh man, but I could imagine what it would have been like with all the ivy, the greenery, the moss and everything that would, oh man, been over it. Oh man, it did suffer. This place was burnt, not burnt to the ground, by the way, but by the Cham people, the Vietnamese, when they come in, I forget what century, but they burnt the whole place down, and that's why all the wooden buildings are long gone, you know, which there was a huge city inside the moat and the perimeter wall of Angkor, but that's all clearly gone because it was burnt away, you know. But what beautiful, like, little lakes. Oh man, here's just in this woods, very quiet area. I don't think there's many tourists here today, which is really good. So I'm having a bit of a somber day, walking about these smaller temples that are in close proximity, so you can visit them all perhaps within the morning. How are you, darling? You alright? You good? Bit nervous? Oh man. So, hang on. Let me enter the building once again. Oh man. So we see Buddha. So you can come in here. It's still here for worship, of course. Whoa, looking cool. Oh man, that's had its. Oh man, that's had its arm glued on. That's a security guard now. That's it. Radio and 3. Oh man, they just don't want you. Oh, look at it. Just talking about. There's another security guard through there on the phone to the security guard just here. And all these trees, exactly the same as. Oh man, where I was yesterday. Look at him. They're all. That's mobile phones for you, mate. You're all wankers. You fucking mobile phone, fucking bollocks. Still, you know, it is what it is. Have I got to climb through a window? Well, I think, give us a sec, I might have to just walk around. So you can, there's a little secret passage just behind Buddha there that you can walk through. Oh man, which is cool, just there. Just got to walk around the side of Buddha. Oh, whoa! And the security guards will hide up because they do not want me to get them on film. And the reason why is because I will email pictures and videos to the authorities telling them how much of a hassle it's been for me as a tourist coming in here. Whoa, it's a funny old thing, man. Like I say, mobile technology, photographs, images and emailing directly to people that need to understand that tourists need to be kept. How are you, mate? Okay. You okay?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, good, good, good. Got to treat your tourists with respect, because otherwise they might complain to the authorities, and that would only cause more issues for people's employment. Oh man, what a wicked looking spot. Now that crack, you see, right, what I want to show you is how well this place was built, because people believe that, you know, we don't have the technology to build like they built 900 years ago. Well, that's absolute rubbish. Of course we have the technology, mate. We send people to the moon in spaceships, right? That's what kind of technology we have today, you know. It's like people were primitive back 900 years ago, but they had something about them what we haven't got today. And I will be making a vlog all about that, showing you and explaining some of the mysteries. Actually, most of them. Yes, I will. I will actually. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I can't talk about the history of the place, but I can talk about stuff from a tour guide. Okay. Banteay, Kdei. Just waving at the security guard there. Okay, it says late 12th to early 13th century. It's a Buddhist temple in the style of Angkor and Bayon. King patron is Javaraman the 7th, I believe. Where's my security guard gone? He's here. Poor old boy's got a crippled leg and he's being forced to follow me, man. Oh, that's bad news for him. But sprawling largely unrestored monistic complex in much the same style as to Prom. It was originally constructed over the site of an early temple and functioned as a Buddhist monastery until Java Man, what is that, a V+2, 7? As with other works of Java Man the 7th, they are in tightly packed architecture muddle, which, like Bayan, suffered from several changes in plans at the time of construction. Okay, but as you can see, oh man, it is awesome. Wicked spot to just walk around and look about. Wow. And it hasn't, like I say, it's largely been unrestored, and the gaps you see in the bricks, they have been caused by earthquakes. That is, you can imagine there's been lots of earthquakes in the area, and the stone, the volcanic stone on the bottom, is obviously due to volcanic eruptions. And that's what this place, the whole complex has been built. It's been built with that lava volcanic stone, and then it's got sandstone fascias on the inside and the outside. Oh man, which you can see in some parts where the sandstone's worn away, but that is a really good example of that carving, that busk. That is a really good one. I think that's Shiva. That is a really good looking one. Okay, we venture on. There's a couple more there I'm kind of looking at. Oh, man. Yes. As we venture through, it is something. Like I say, I thought that was a mirror for a minute with my hair down. No. And it does. I mean, if this don't look like Gondor, you know, Lord of the Rings, half expect Boromir, or I can't remember his name, coming around here with his sword, or a few, what would you call them, trolls, or goblins, or elves. Oh man, it is just superb. I shan't climb over there. Okay, I'll give you a little bit more information from the book. It was also built using inferior grade of sandstone and using poor construction techniques, leading to much of the deterioration visible today. Well, there isn't much deterioration. It's got these beautiful lichens all over it, which again tells you the air quality here has been really good, and it's rather well preserved. That's my opinion, based on what I'm seeing and looking at. And it just goes on and on and on. It's colossal. Now there's a different one of these. I say I'm not into my religions and haven't done much research, but I know that one with the arms, there's something different with this one. There are the odd one that is different. You guys will know who they are. I don't. This guy here with a sword. Wow, this must be a warrior, and his feet pointing both one way and the other way, where the other feet are usually pointing the same way. That one is Shiva, I know that, but that's the only one I know, funny enough. Oh man, but they are wicked. Just the contrast of the colours as you look through that depth. Oh man, wow. And you can see as well how well, like I said, reading from here, it said it was poor construction, but it's not. You look at the construction on here and how well these blocks are put together. There's hardly any. Oh man, it is. You can imagine 900 years of war, eruptions, volcanic or whatever, earthquakes, and those lines, how they've put them together, are pretty incredible compared to ones that have been done in the last decades or so. Okay, a restoration project is underway on many of the towers and the corridors. Where I now first went to one of the corridors or towers coming in, that's fully under construction and blocked off, but I did do some film work there, and you will be able to see the difference between the workforce of today as opposed to a workforce almost 1,000 years ago, which is very, very relevant. And you can see again this great big separation of the stone. That's due to earthquakes and nothing else. The foundation of the temple has not been found, so there is no record to whom it is dedicated. The 13th century vandalism of Buddha images that is seen on many of the temples is quite apparent on Banteay, Kdei. Combined with a visit to Shrang, I might be going there next if it's close by, which is the opposite to the east entrance. And that really is what the tour guide says. Oh man. But the carvings or the busks, they are really, really good. I mean, really good. Okay, that one's been sabotaged, but I'm just looking to see if there's one that is out of place. There may be, but then again, there may not be. Oh man, any aliens or dinosaurs in these inscriptions? No. Okay. Oh man. And the cloud is getting better. It was really dark and grey when I come out this morning, but it now looks as if it's getting better. Oh, that tree. Oh, I'm drawn. Drawn to that tree. I'll go out this exit and come back and look at that tree. Oh man, really cool. Really cool. Now one thing is, it's good looking at these balustrades. I'll point something out to you because you can see, like I say, they say it's under poorer construction. I reckon they try to build it a bit quicker. So if you look at the balustrades here, they're not perfect. They're slightly out of form and they're not 100% in form, which is good news. You can see how well the blocks are cut together, these joints, right? Which is a little bit special because they cannot do this today. I will tell you why they can't do that today, but it's a really good sign seeing the imperfections, because that clearly states that it was built by humans and not by gods in one day, as they say. Oh man, I'm looking, like I say, this wall is being really welled up by that oak, which is good news. I'm still looking for something out of the ordinary. You just don't know. Okay, moving through now. Yeah, as you can see here, they've been taken, the heads and the arms were cut off and the hands. Over 2,000 these items have been stolen and are slowly being bought back by the museum here, which is in town, and I think it's run by an English guy, but it is something. Like I say, these trees, oh man, the root goes right under here, look. Massive roots coming up, massive, which is, like I say, look at that. That is like it's a bit of a trip hazard, I know, but oh man, that tree, oh, there is graffiti there, oh man, of somewhat, but even the colours on the tree that have come out, that is some trunk. Wow. And these types of trees, by the way, are not indigenous to Cambodia. Not a lot of people know that. See, this temple is probably 700-800 years old. Them trees are about 600 years old. Is that right, darling? But look at the roots on there. That is awesome. That really is. That's proper elephant foot tree. I'm still having a quick look to see if there's any of these guardians, I think they are. Oh man, no, I'm trying to see if there's one that's a little bit different to the rest. Oh man, speed this up a bit. I'll make it harder for the security to follow me when I walk fast. They won't be able to keep up. Not in this heat, no. I'll persecute them. Yes. Ah, oh, man, it's called revenge. Oh, I'm having fun on my last day, and I'm glad the sun is coming out, and I'm glad I brought my tour guide, and I'm glad I can actually make a vlog giving you guys some information that is legal, I believe. Not 100% sure. Like I say, it's a tour guide, not reading about the history or anything. I'm reading the tour guide, which should be written from the same tour guides that are coming here. And there, I don't know if you can see right down there, that is the restoration work with a crane. That's using diesel fuel to lift the blocks to put it into place, and there's a few guys working there, and I did film the way that they were working so you can see the comparison of how I can't show you film of the guys working building this, but I'm sure you can get an impression of maybe 1,000 people working on this, you know, big gods behind them with cracking the whips, you know. And not only that, they were worshippers of these gods. So these temples, like I say, I will solve one mystery for you now. They were built by humans, but humans who had nothing but respect for the gods, perhaps worked really hard, as you would for a bowl of rice a day, with a gun on your back, you know, that kind of scenario. And that's probably why the place was built so perfectly, as opposed to how it's being built today by perhaps just 3 or 4 workers. One of them perhaps having a fag, the other one taking a piss, and all the rest of it, and not really wanting to be here. That to me is probably the crowning factor and proof that it was built by humans. Right. Okay, my last little bit of the Angkors. So you can see the weather's turned rainy, thunderstorm. We're gonna have lightning, but that's all really good because I've managed to ditch the security. They don't like the rain. As much as they hate the sun, they don't like the rain. And right over there, I don't know if you can see in the background amongst those trees, are the 12 towers of the king. And where I am stood right now, I'm right on top of the Leaper King's terrace and the wall of elephants, which is all literally here. And that is the king's palace right in front of me. So as there's no one about, I can tell you the story. Well, the mythology, the king's palace, which is what I like. Now I hope this is the right place. I say that because it's difficult to find out the right information, but as the story goes, the king was forced to sleep with a serpent in here, in this temple. He was. If he didn't sleep with the serpent, he would probably become ill, or they wouldn't have any crops, or I don't know, everyone would run away, there'd be disease, there'd be disaster. And so the kings used to have to come and sleep with the serpent every night. Some nights the serpent didn't turn up. The king would have been a bit let down, you know. Now there's a little, I don't think there's much more to the story than that, that's all it is, but you know, I think that's been used in a film. I know I've seen a film where some guy, a king, to keep his strength, used to come, I think he'd have to murder somebody he loved, to kill him, and then come and sleep with a serpent, or give that person to the serpent to keep his strength. I don't know. I'm going to try and think. I can see the film, the images in my mind, but I'm trying to, I don't think it's a Marvel film, but it may well be. I am trying to think of what film that is. Maybe someone will let me know in the comments. I just can't remember. Oh man. But there's a wicked spot as I walk through. There's someone in there. Alright, the light's coming the other way. So let's just have a little look at the King's Temple. Wow. I'm trying to see where he's. Oh man. Ah, this is the entrance to the King's Temple. That's what I thought. As we walked through, I thought there'd be a lot more than this, just a little tower. Thought it'd be a lot more, but as it's pissing down the rain, I don't know how much more I'm gonna see. Excuse me, buddy. Cheers, thank you. Ah, so that's where he would have done his shagging. Ah, which means I've got to walk all the way up there. In the rain and the thunder, and then try and get back to my tuk-tuk guy before it really do piss down, which it will. Oh yeah. I'm here. It's a bit wet on the feet. There is a natural waterfall, and I'm hoping there's man, I thought I was just going to run right up to there. There's a bridge that's obviously been taken away. Oh, and the motor's in place, so you cannot enter to the King's shagging quarters. That's where he did a little bit of interspecies relationships with the Naga. I see one pillar over there that's been added with some stone, but that's otherwise than that, that is pretty much untouched with that greenery growing through. That is pretty good looking King's Temple where he did his shagging. That's what he did. He shagged. He had. He shagged Nagas. I don't know why, but that's probably why there's loads of Nagas everywhere. They're the seven-headed snake-looking thing, which is a serpent. But they actually are not a mythological creature at all. They are real without the seven heads. They exist, and they are a serpent, and they have one head. And they're very much alive today, even though they're extremely rare and very, very difficult to find because they live in really, really deep water. But they are real. They're not a mythical creature. That is the serpent. And when you see the dragons, well, everybody think of dragons, they go, are they a dragon or are they a snake? They're neither. They are that exact same serpent. Naga. Naga, I think, is in Thailand the name that they call the dragon, but it's just they are alive today. Jeremy Wade, I'm sure he's that fisherman guy, I'm sure he did a show on it, River Monsters or something, and he actually did, oh man, gain footage of one in really, really deep water, and they're quite something. They're like they're almost translucent looking things. About, well, you can imagine what they'd be like, really long, serpenty looking. Oh man. So I'm walking and talking, and I hope I don't get my feet soaked. As you can see, there's natural this water is making natural waterfalls towards these lakes. Oh, but it is good. I've got background noise of the birds, I've got a bit of thunder and echoing in the background, and I've got the rain, and I've got me yapping. What a contrast. Wow, so it's not been a bad day today. The security guards and the tour ops haven't been as persistent as they have in other days, but I have told them, I've put some emails. I've scared them off, is what I've done. I've scared them off. That's exactly what I've done. When I was telling one girl coming out of the last temple what I'd done, her face was like, you could see the fear in her face, you know, and I thought, well, you know, you do what you do. Do you know what I mean? Just be a bit more respectful in future. So I've put it into them. They won't learn. They never will. Oh man, wicked. And neither will I. I ain't ever going to change. I am all being, all singing, all dancing. YouTuber. But what wicked pools, man. They're really cool. So, like I say, it's brilliant, awesome landscape. And all the temples, the reason why you can see, I'm really glad I went to that last one, that was poorly done. Obviously that king or prince whose temple it was obviously skint. That's a massive reference to all these cities that were built, because that's what they are, they're cities. Angkor just simply translate to city. That's it, that's that simple. Man, I like things when they are that simple. There's no need to spin yarns or whatever. But yeah, so I just thought I'd have a little look through there before I now head back. I think I'll say something. Yes. So all these temples, say they were built over a 300-400 period, and basically it was when a king came to power or a prince, whoever took over, they then went and built their own city. And it's from that you can tell by simply everything here, all the evidence, all the proof, all the facts, everything that you want to know about all the Angkors is within the city buildings. Every single one of them, they all tell a story, and everything is there to be seen. Just need to interpret it correctly. So every single one, that's why I like Angkor. Well, obviously the king, that top king, was so rich, he built something major, grand, and then of course when his son came to power, he wanted to outdo his father and built that bayon to make it even more elaborate than the Angkor Wat. And that's basically what it is. Some of them are big, some of them are small. It just depends on how much money or what the wealth was in the city. Some that you can see where they obviously went for a bit of a recession, and then some obviously didn't. So I've had a good walk around there, just looking at the stuff to see if I can get some good photographs in the wet regarding the grain on the stone, because if you ever photograph stone, correct stone, you will get the best light from rainy weather. Whew, I learned that from photographing churches in Great Britain or England, because of the grey, oh man, and the stones that were used, the old York stone and stuff like that, then they look really good when they're wet, and you get that grainy atmosphere, as you kind of getting it here, but nothing's really floating my boat, not really. Whew. So 5 days of trudging around here, it's been cool. Would I stay another 5 days? Well, I would. I haven't really got much more to do or talk about. There are a few other ones I'd visit, but that was the main. I just wanted to get that story in about the king shagging dragons. The dragon shagger king. Right, I need to go and see my tuk-tuk man. Whew, and then that's it, I'm going home. Happy ending coming up very shortly. Almost forgot, I've nearly eaten my dinner, drunk me beer, and I forgot. I was like having such a happy moment. Just there, I almost forgot to do this little jump up. So I am today. I'm not going to show because I nearly caned it. But, oh man, I'm at my little favourite restaurant, and I am eating off this menu today. I'm having this one. Spaghetti, dried chilli with pork and basil. It's what I would call Thai. Italian and Thai food mixed together. You know what? It's really good. Look at that, that's proper thin cut tagliatelle, basil and pork. That was really good. And also, in true Italian form, we do have the tomato puree residue. Do you have any Italian food, spaghetti bolognese, lasagna, whatever it is, you're always going to get that tomato. That's the oils coming out of the tomato purees. That's the residue. It's really hard to get rid of. But anyway, so that's me. I drunk my beer, so I can't really cheers you, so cheers anyway. Thanks for watching, putting up with today's vlog. I actually enjoyed making today's vlog. It was alright. My last day around the temples got rained out, and yeah, that was alright. But for those people who like a real happy ending, right opposite the road, she's gone now. Oh no, she's hid up. She's hid up, but right over there is a Champe's hand massage and spa. I'm guessing, I haven't been in, so I don't know, but I'm guessing, I'm guessing that's a proper happy ending. I'm out, I've got this food, it's so good in here, and it's so cheap. It's like between $2, $3. They even do a chicken steak with chips and all that for $5. So if you remember where it is, if you come to Siem Reap, this is my little spot. I always find a good spot where everything is good, clean, good service, good staff, and the food is good as well. And I need to be good grub. So I won't run down any more. So thanks for watching. Stay at the end, and until next time, au revoir.